This morning we woke up early and had to say goodbye to Jasper. Watch out, that might splash. Be careful. Oh, there's leaks a little.
Who's eating the berries?
It's like no bears there, I gotta keep going.
So a few days ago we drove north to Jasper on the Icefields Parkway.
Yep.
And we did a bunch of different stops on that. I vlogged that entire day. It was gorgeous. Well, it's time to head south again from Jasper down towards Banff again. So there's so many different stops to do on the Icefields Parkway Road. You can't really fit all of it in one day because it's a lot of stops. So today is part 2 of Icefields Parkway as we make our way back down south on the drive. And we are at the Edith Cavell Glacier. Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Yeah, and we're just gonna go hike to the glacier area and see it. I think it's like a mile round trip, nothing too crazy. So fun fact, Mount Edith Cavell was named after a war nurse who saved hundreds of soldiers' lives during World War I. The early bird got the worm this morning, and we are the early birds. There's nobody here.
And the glacier that hangs on the side of this mountain is called Angel Glacier.
It used to resemble an angel spreading its wings before it became eroded.
And below Angel Glacier sits Cavell Pond that has these small icebergs floating in it.
Oh, that's cold. Cold dip in there?
No. This is definitely one of the best stops you can make on the Icefields Parkway.
The jaw-dropping views make this one of the most beautiful places we visited in Canada.
You can hear the glacier cracking and booming. If you've never heard glaciers boom and crack, it's such a deep sound that it's hard to explain. It's like an intense, deep sound. I love it. We've heard them in Alaska, Iceland, now here in Canada. There's glaciers in Colorado, but I didn't hear the booming there. Highly recommend. So we are at Sunwapta Falls. We actually tried going here last time on the last vlog, but when we got here, there was like no parking. It was a madness. But today we're here early and we have parking.
Well, it's short and sweet.
Yeah, it's just like right there. 2.2 seconds to see it.
It's so smoky today.
Yeah,
We got lucky. It was so clear when we got here.
I know. Coming north on our last vlog, it was so clear until we got to Jasper. Then it started kind of getting a little smoky, but it was still really clear. But wow, what a difference a few days makes. Today's a heavy day of smoke here on the Icefield Parkway Road. Woo, wow. So I just created new photography, videography terminology. It's called the tripod effect. So we just pulled over here on this huge pull-off on the side of the road, and we were just gonna take a photo quick and have breakfast. I want to take a photo of the camper for the cover of this vlog. Nobody around, nobody in the parking lot, nothing. I pull up the tripod and I back up so I can get the whole shot, you know. All of a sudden, 3 RVs, 5 cars literally roll in the second I set up the tripod. And just swamped with people immediately. There was literally nobody there. So I'm calling it the tripod effect because I feel like when people see a tripod, they just automatically assume that there's like animals or wildlife or, you know, something going on. But I just found that really funny because it happens all the time. So we were going to do another hike today. We were going to do the Wilcox Pass, I think it's called. But because it's so smoky out, it's just the views aren't fantastic. Like, it's just not very clear out. So I think, oh, there's mosquitoes. We haven't had mosquitoes this whole trip, and now I just had them buzz me. Whew. Anyways, so I think we're going to skip out on this hike. We have a lot of driving today because we're just trying to make our way back south. Before we get going on this ride, no road trip is complete without the snacks. Triscuits, hummus, Cheez-Its, drinks. We made it to our final destination for the day. We are going to hike to Wapta Falls, which is in Yoho National Park. The trail to Wapta Falls is a pretty easy trail until you get to the falls. Then there's quite an incline down if you want to get right next to the falls at the bottom. We decided just to view the falls from above and not make the climb down, which made this 3-mile hike more like a 2.5-mile hike. Definitely worth it. This is our very first Dispersed campsite here in Canada. I booked a lot of campgrounds for this trip because there wasn't a lot of dispersed camping options in the areas we wanted to be.
There wasn't really any, was it?
No.
It was just here.
Exactly. This was pretty much the only area. So if you follow along on our truck camper adventures, you know like our preferred camping is dispersed camping. Campgrounds are kind of a last resort for us. But this trip,
what do you do?
Yeah, what do? You know,
it's like California camping.
We don't want to drive an hour and a half out of our way just to find a free campsite. It's not worth it. But tonight, it finally worked. We were able to get a free campsite. And if you are a Boondocker YouTube member, I will be sharing the GPS coordinates of this site and area in my community page. So be sure to check that after the vlog goes live here. But it couldn't be a better spot. We're literally backed right up to a river. It's gorgeous.
We're happy to be done with the campground for a night or two.
Yeah.
Kids and crowds and smoked out campsites. The whole place was smoked out last night. Like, we don't really do campfires.
Yeah,
whatever is maybe weird to people, but
yeah, we don't really care for bonfires.
Well, it doesn't get dark till 10:30, 11, so it's like we're up early. We have, I don't know.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. But everyone else is having a campfire literally all day long, so it's like our camper gets consumed with bonfire smoke all day long. The whole evening we had kids running right through our site. Granted, our site was on a river.
Biking right through there.
Yeah, biking. Yeah. I don't know, is that normal? Is that appropriate? Do people just let their kids run through other people's sites? I don't know. I just found that very kind of rude, because they literally walked past the door of our camper and looked right in at us, and it was like all just constant, more kids after kids. I'm like,
set their bikes down right behind our site. It's like, come on.
I know. Like, this is our site. This ain't your site. Get your bikes out of here. Stop looking at us in our camera.
We're in the adults only camping section
Yeah.
tonight.
Do they got adult only campgrounds? No. No, but anyways, we actually had some really good campgrounds, but it's nice to be dispersed camping. Cheers to our first dispersed campsite in Canada.
Time for another beer.
Yes.
All right, tonight we're making some tacos. Got the old El Paso taco kit, soft shell, hard shell. Kind of the lazy way, but easy for camping. Got the taco sauce, the seasoning, and all the shells all in one. Got some ground beef and tomato, some cheese, and some lettuce. Easy peasy. Toast it up a little bit before we mix it into the meat. No stove, so there you go. Nice?
Yeah.
Nice.
Tacos by the river. We bought the kit just because it's easier for camping. When we came across the border, we just figured, you know, we didn't want to have a bunch of, you know, random spices and stuff. Usually Vince makes all the taco seasoning homemade, but we just, like, we're just gonna buy the kit and just call it good.
It's kind of hard to do that, but
yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah, it worked. There was some broken shells in the kit, of course, but we're just gonna roll with it. We're gonna see how these compare to Vince's homemade tacos that he usually makes.
Guajillo chili powder from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come close. They're okay, it's fine.
It's okay. It's not Vince's homemade, but it'll do for camping.
Flour tortillas too. It's not Mexican.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's America. Well, it's
It's
Canada.
okay.
It's Canada.
It's okay. It's okay. So, dispersed camping in Canada. Look what just happened. So, I know it's very limited, and we were very aware of that. But when we got here, there was nobody. Now we have a camper that pulled up right next to us. That usually doesn't happen to us in the US. We've never experienced that. That's not even technically a campsite. There's no ring or anything. They just pulled in and said, I'm gonna camp here. I don't know. It's very interesting. Maybe if you're going to Canada, maybe booking a campsite is a better idea than this is our first experience. It's very interesting. All right, and that's a wrap. We'll see you in the next vlog.
Good night.